Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakfield Farm. Today is going to be a very busy day, but hopefully it isn't going to take too long. So busy but relatively quick, and the reason for this is because we're going to be selling silage but with the Navarro mouse, the ROPA Navarro mouse, which is this big machine just here, designed for moving many different types of materials relatively quickly. Having said this, I do still need to tidy up here first, which is going to take a while, since I'm just using the standard telehandler bucket. But once this is done, we can take everything over to the sell point and begin loading the anaerobic digester with this fermented silage. Now, there is one thing which does need to be noted, and that is the animals. You see, the thing is, to do the selling, for the processor to keep up, we have to increase the rate of time. Otherwise, it's going to keep becoming full and we'll have to keep stopping. So as we increase the time, obviously the consumption of the feed and the water is going to increase as well for the animals, and then if I become negligent and don't quite keep up with the water and feed, we're going to lose them. We're going to lose the animals, which would be absolutely terrible. So we must make sure they have enough water and feed prior to going over to the sell point. First of all, I'm just going to finish off here. We just need to finish off loading whatever there is here. There is still quite a bit, despite it looking like a very small amount, but hopefully still it won't take too long. The other good thing is the ROPA, just here, to the right of us, despite it being sat there, isn't technically costing us anything because the engine is not running. I think it does it by engine hours, so with the engine being switched off, it's basically frozen. The lease time is frozen, which is nice. However, I think the daily fee is still counting up. But hopefully we won't even have it for 2 days. It should just be the 1 day. So I'm going to see you in a minute. I'm spilling stuff now anyway. And that is it pretty much done. There is the odd piece here and there. It's actually proving quite difficult to get it from the corners. It doesn't seem to want to actually go into the bucket. And it keeps, conversing between the chaff and the silage, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, we'll have to dump that out of there. Pick up this piece over here, and the pit can have a proper clean later. Right, so we'll just go and check up on the animals. Hopefully they're going to be okay anyway. Let me just see. Water's good, hay's good. The sheep. The sheep are severely lacking their hay. So what we're going to have to get the 2 hay bales over to their trough. We're going to have to do that as a matter of urgency. And if anyone does require water throughout the process, I can always come back, I suppose, but it is going to be something which will slow down the selling process if we do have to come back to here. So I'll just drop the bucket off. It's looking a bit congested in here anyway. I'll put it here. There we go. I'll grab the straw harvest add-on vertical grab, which is absolutely fantastic. Definitely worth using. And we can now pick up our 2 bales, possibly even 3. That's annoying. We've got one here. Might have to put it up at the top first, just to be able to grab a load in one go. Probably third-person view would be easiest. Okay, we've really got through these hay bales really quickly. We'll go for these 3. If we can do. There we go. Fantastic. Try not to hit the barn. And over to the sheep we go. They're going to enjoy this. Now possibly they could just take 2. If they do, that's fair enough. That's an extra bale for us. But I have a cunning plan that they are going to take the 3 bales, since they are very hungry with there being so many of them. All we can do is find out. I could always leave a bale here anyway, because it will take it as soon as they do require it. Yep, it did. It took all 3. Fairly predictable. Looking really healthy though. And yeah, it's just the water. It's just the water they could potentially lack in the future. But I'll keep an eye on it, and if they do start to run out, I'll come back over here and top it up. I'll shut the gate too. Right, so Next job is to take the trailer full of silage over to the sell point along with the ROPA, and then after that it should be a fantastic selling session. It's going to be a relatively slow process, despite me saying it was going to be a fairly quick process. In comparison to doing with a bucket, it is very fast, but it's still going to be a fairly long-winded job. I'll put that there. There we go. Right, so let's get things set up over here. Gonna have to put it on to follow me. And I'm actually going to keep everything in this trailer. All the silage we have here at the moment is going to stay in there until all the other piles of silage has been sold, because otherwise there'll be no space for it. Now, as you probably know, the ROPA DLC was released today, so if you would like to get it, if you haven't already pre-ordered it, then I'll drop a link down below, and yeah, for PC, the link will be there for you to use. I don't know the exact pricing of the link which I've posted at this stage, although when you click on it, chances are there will be a price there, possibly a discount too. I can't say for sure, but yeah, there'll be a link there. Again, you'll have to check with the website if you can actually activate that version on Steam, or if it is not for the Steam version. Again, totally out of my control. You'll just have to check the website. Now, I would have thought that due to this being mostly time-lapse, this next section, with it being such a big job, this video will be a fairly short video. But having said that, it is going to be... well, this video wasn't even going to happen today anyway. This is a bonus video because I've been able to get another hour of time to actually record in. So, yeah, this video potentially was not going to happen. It was supposed to be just... well, my plan was just to have the pure farming video today. So, whatever the length, it's all extra. And it will be nice to be able to get all this sold. Anyway, that is it. That is all my piles, and that is, yeah, that is about almost a million litres. Almost a million litres of silage. Quite a lot. The most I've ever done. Where's the ROPA? Okay. Randomly stopped in the middle of the road. As you do, I suppose. I can't get it to move either. Oh, it swung out and hit the sign. Yes, it was following my course, so it, yeah, just obviously grabbed the signpost or the bollard there. Now, I think the best thing for me to do here would be to get into position first, as otherwise it's going to be fairly tricky for the counterweight to open up. If I can get in here. Ah, I didn't think of that. Maybe I can creep through the middle. Crikey, this would be bad if I can't even get into the area to sell it all. What would I do? I'd have to sell it all with a bucket. And there is much more here than it looks like, and it looks like a lot. Maybe I should reverse it. Ah, that would be a good idea. If I reverse it, the counterweight won't swing out. Yeah, almost. That could work. Although, not very comfortable for the driver. Okay, let's just give it a second just for it to unfold. And as soon as I can go back a bit further, I'll be able to sort some things out. Although I am stuck. I'm totally stuck. Oh dear. Right, I'm unstuck. Let's start things up. We're about to be charged for another hour's work because it's on 0.9 hours. But hopefully, it is now going to be able to process this. I've just realised that seems to have chaff in it. And it's stopping it from working. Why does it have chaff in it? Is it possible to unload it just randomly on the ground? Hopefully it is. Yes, left control I. That'll do. Now we should take the silage. Fantastic. The money, if I can keep this going, will just keep going up. And look at the speed it's going up at. Wow. Again, like I said, this process, you can see it's filling up fairly rapidly there. That needs to process faster by increasing the rate of time. It looks like times 15 is adequate, so we might be able to get away with it. I just don't want to pass too much time, like I said, otherwise these animals are going to be really suffering. But that is actually really... maybe we can try times 5. There's quite a capacity there for it to fill up before it actually does stop. And that seems to be staying fairly stable. Yep, that's actually very good. Ah, let's keep it moving. as soon as I've made an area here, an opening, we'll be able to turn around, we'll be able to do the other pile just there, well, all the piles just here. I don't know if we'll be able to reach the far pile and still get it into the processor there. Hopefully we will be able to. But it's just something which is going to develop over this time lapse. Hopefully we enjoy it. It's going to be a very fast time lapse, as it will have to be. Otherwise it would be just boring to watch. It'd be like watching paint dry. But what would I do without this machine? What would I do? The timing was absolutely perfect. When I planned doing the silage harvest, I didn't even think of the ROPA DLC. And now the ROPA DLC is what's saved the day. It's just perfect. It's actually proving to be quite tricky with this other pile being here. I might have to turn around fairly soon to sell that first, because we have actually made it a bit more flat here. Looking good. Anyway, let's get this thing going. Okay, so that is all of that done. On to the final load. I'm actually quite surprised about how quickly it did that. It was obviously going to be much quicker than using the bucket on the telehandler, but still, it was surprising. I think it took about half an hour in real time. Now half an hour does still sound like quite a while, but when you consider it was almost 1 million litres, yeah, it's fairly understandable. But yes, there is still about 135,000 left to go. And somehow I need to turn around here. And that's going to be easier said than done. What a hilarious situation. Yeah, I'll never be doing it like this again. By that I mean the extremely heavy trailer. Of course we'll be using the ROPA again. Very useful machine. The trailer is overweight by only about 115 tons, so it's not too bad. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can barely turn. Here goes. Hopefully it's going to start loading up. Soon find out. Yep, that's working. It's going to start to sell. It's certainly a big pile. It's actually pushing the ROPA backwards. It's not quite over the sell point, I don't think, and we're not quite empty either. There we go, perfect. Right, so we shut that off. That is all finished with. That is all of the silage moved, incredibly. Quite an achievement, really. And now all I need to do is position that over here. But yeah, this shouldn't take too long to sell, because the previous pile which I did was a full trailer, and that took about 3 minutes, I think. So I think, yeah, 2 minutes for this one, most likely. What I tend to do is put on cruise control at 1 miles per hour, so you can actually just leave it. It keeps creeping forwards, and you don't have to keep adjusting it. Of course you do have to adjust the conveyor belt, because that'll move with the machine. But with this pile, that should actually go very smoothly. Hoping it'll be sold in no time. But look at our money, £250,000 so far. Incredible. It's about halfway through the pile. We'll keep it going on cruise control. Make sure that's still over there. It doesn't actually have to be totally over the processor, it just has to be in the vicinity of it. The trigger is kind of extended on this map, which is very nice. Makes it much easier. Because as well, over there, the big pile behind us, well, the big pile that used to be behind us, that was only just reachable. It was very close, almost out of reach. I think this final piece here is going to disappear much quicker. You sort of get a feel for the lower piles, and yeah, they seem to just be fed up in the machine in no time. We should see the concrete through here any second. Okay, that's stopped. There we go. It's because it got stuck on the big pile there. Just get that fed up the conveyor belt. And yeah, this is the dregs of it. This is the final load. You actually have to make sure the conveyor belt is totally empty if you want to go for the far away stuff, because it sort of stores it on the conveyor belt, and then to unload it you just reverse back, transferring it across, get the final piece. That's that done. And we've got this piece over here, which should be able to reach. Just about. And there is one very small area left. And then that'll be it. Out of almost 1 million litres, that piece there was the final piece. And we're done. Wow. That is a relief. That is fantastic. What would we have done without the ROPA machine, the Noiro mouse? Absolutely fantastic. I guess we could have had a conveyor belt, but I've not had much luck with them before, and they do tend to get a bit annoying over time. That machine there is just perfect. So we finish off with £282,370, which is absolutely incredible. And I think really we're going to have to leave it there. So thank you so much for watching. The maize silage saga is over. Until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.